In the Caucasus, things are very uneasy in Russia, because how stupid the leadership of the Russian Federation has to be, how they have planned it. We know very well that thanks to the 18th package of sanctions imposed by the European Union, Russia will be completely cut off from gas supplies to Europe. On top of that, let's remember that Ursula von der Leyen and Trump signed a trade agreement with the European Union. There are few benefits for the European Union, but it could be even worse. Let's take the German auto industry. Under this agreement, German car manufacturers, the giants, will now pay a 15% duty. If they had not signed this agreement, they would have paid 27.5%. But before Trump came to office, the German auto industry paid only 2.7% of duties when shipping its cars to the United States. That is, it was very good. Trump said it would be very bad, and they agreed on something in between. It's just bad. So what is my point? These trade agreements also state the following. The European Union commits to buy $750 billion worth of energy from the United States over the next 3 years. This is a complete push, even theoretically, no matter how much the Russians want to return to the European market or make plans to do so, this cuts them off. How did they plan to continue to supply gas since they are under sanctions? Through Azerbaijan. They said that their companies might be involved, but I won't tell you their names. It will send its gas to Azerbaijan, and then Azerbaijan will be able to supply gas through Turkey. But they quarreled because Putin cannot even communicate properly with those countries with which it would be beneficial for him to cooperate. It all started on December 25th last year, when a civilian airliner was shot down. The Russians have not yet apologized, and Baku officials have already submitted all the documents to international bodies. And then, at the end of June, there was a second conflict between these countries, between Aliyev and Putin, because 50 Azerbaijanis were detained in Yekaterinburg on June 27th, and 2 died. They are accused of murder in 2001. Of course, Azerbaijan reacted in a mirror image. Sputnik, which is a Russian propaganda agency operating in Azerbaijan, is a branch of Russia Today. Their employees were detained, told that they were FSB officers. Russian house in Baku was closed. Instead, Moscow expelled the head of the Azerbaijani diaspora in Moscow. Accordingly, he said that now there are no conditions and no sense for the existence of the Azerbaijani diaspora in Moscow. The most recent thing that happened is that Azerbaijan has just recently demanded that the TASS propaganda agency, the one that broadcast the meeting between Putin and Lukashenko, apologize in the official TASS report. Because of what? Because this Russian propaganda agency, in its news about Karabakh, which, let me remind you, returned to Azerbaijan. The city of Khankendi was apparently deliberately called Stepanakert by its Armenian name. Azerbaijan officially says, "We expect TASS news agency to apologize and make explanation. Otherwise, in accordance with the law, measures will be taken against TASS's activities in Azerbaijan," and they reminded of Sputnik Azerbaijan. Moreover, the Azerbaijani media went further, and they began to call Kaliningrad Königsberg and Orenburg Orenbor as a matter of principle. This is a reference to the Kyrgyz and Kazakh socialist republics within the Soviet Union. So you can see where this is headed, and what I'm getting at is that Putin is losing contacts, countries that could previously be called allies or partners, and he's losing that too. Moreover, Kazakhstan and Turkey are considering increasing the volume of their oil supplies, bypassing Russia through the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipeline. This, by the way, was agreed upon and discussed at the meeting between President Tokayev of Kazakhstan and President Erdogan of Turkey. That is, the Kremlin's policy is so short-sighted and primitive that they are losing influence in the Middle East. We know Syria, Iran, and then there is Azerbaijan, with whom we could have cooperated but instead have serious problems.